Right, let's learn now the Sikha of the Rebbe. We learned yesterday, this is a Sikha of the Rebbe in Chelik Aleph, that education of the children, education of Jewish boys and girls, right? Like I said many, many times, the Jewish people were the chosen people. We're chosen to tell the non-Jews how much God loves them and cares for them, but we have to understand that ourselves. And the way that we feel this love and know how to articulate it is through the Torah. We have to learn the Torah. And Paro realized this also, and this is our enemies through all the generations have realized this. Education. That's the main thing of Chabad, education. Educating, call all of the Jews, educating the whole world. Education. Educating every single Jew that you could possibly educate, educating about the non-Jews, about the 7 Noahide commandments, the Jews about the commandments, education. Paro was the opposite. Paro said, throw the males into the river and the girls let them live according to, make them live. And the Rebbe says, make them live according to our standards. And what does it mean, throw them into the river? Nowadays that translates, especially in America, maybe I imagine everywhere else also, but throw the children, the river was the source of their livelihood. Throw the children into making money, making a livelihood, being being important in the world, having a big job, having a nice income. That's the purpose of life. What about Torah? What about commandments? You make money from it. If you make money from it, then okay. If not, you'll be famous. Maybe you'll be famous. You'll be well known. But if not, not. That's what Paro wanted to do. Throw the children into the river. The river, the Nile River, was their livelihood. Parents throw their children into this. You have to make money. You have to have a purpose. You have to this. What about learning Torah? Right? Totally not important. Secondary at best. The same thing with the girls. The girls, right? Educate, said, let them live according to us, according to our standards, the standards of Egypt. No morals, no principles, no, have fun, have a good time. Whatever makes you feel good. That's what Paro wanted. Don't follow the advice of Paro. Paro is what's called the spirit of the times, the customs of the country. It says that by going out of Egypt, we're just repeating what we said yesterday. By going out of Egypt, it said that because of the righteous women, they went out of Egypt. So also, it depends on the women that they're the ones that have to assure that their children, boys and girls, that they have a proper Jewish education, and that when they come home, the home is a proper Jewish home devoted to the creator of the universe, based on honesty and happiness and love. That's what it should be. By means of this, it says we'll bring the Mashiach. It's first Sikha. Second Sikha. This was said, by the way, 1955, 1952. On the sentence, it says, all of the sons throw into the river. This is one of the sentences we say in the Haggadah. Remember the Haggadah? Soon we're going to have Pesach, a couple months from now is going to be the holiday of Passover. Holiday of Passover, the Jews have been celebrating 3,300 and what, 20 something, 24 years. I have to look and see. The going out of Egypt. They're going, and we thought the amazing, amazing, amazing love that God has for us. That He took us out of Egypt, and that He's involved in the world, and He really cares. And we relate what happened back there in Egypt, how terrible it was, and what an amazing thing it was that God saved us from that evil. And one of the things we say over there is we remind ourselves of the decree of Paro, that every child, male child, throw in the river, and every daughter should come should be taught in our way of life. Make them live. Every boy should be thrown in the river, and every daughter should live like we do. It says in the Gemara, it says in the Haggadah, at Amalenu Elu Abanim. It says, Amalenu et Lachatzenu. It says that God looked and He saw our hard work and our et Lachatzenu, and He took us out of Egypt. When it says He saw our hard work, so the Haggadah of Pesach says these are the children. Like it says, every son that's born, throw him in the river, every child, etc. Okay, so what is it? The Haggadah of Pesach is telling about what trouble we had in Egypt. And it said that our problem, our amalenu, our hard work, you think, what was our hard work? Our hard work was that we had to build pyramids. We had to work day and night, build pyramids. It says, no, our hard work, it says, we had to undergo this terrible decree of every male child should be thrown in the river and every daughter should be made to live according to our standards. The proof that it says is nit as amalenu gate of banim. The proof doesn't really seem to work hard. It says amalenu, what is our hard work? This is the children. And then it says, what's the sentence that proves that the hard work that we did in Egypt was raising our children? It says that Paro decreed throw the children in the river. It says the Rebbe, this doesn't exactly fit in. All the other times when it says something, it brings a clear proof of what it's saying in the Haggadah. It says lachatzenu, that they made us work hard, that they beat us, they this. And here it says that our hard work, this is the children, like it says, throw the children in the river. Is that really our hard work? But on the other hand, this is the proof that the Haggadah brings, that our hard work is talking about our children. And what's the proof that Paro wanted to throw them in the river? So no one asks there doesn't seem to be any connection to the sentence that Paro throwing the children into the river, that's our hard work. The proof is just in general. This is a terrible thing with the children. But the thing of our sons being hard work, the Haggadah doesn't bring any proof that it was a terrible thing to see God forbid, your children throwing into the river is terrible, but that's not hard work. Is Vibald is bringing it to oif them kaim rayas, because it says that our hard work are the children, and it doesn't bring any proof, clear proof. So this seems to indicate as it's an obvious thing, as Vibald does as a davar pashut, that it's obvious that our hard work are the children. So therefore, it doesn't really even have to bring any proof. It's just an obvious thing. And that would have brings the sentence, just another sentence, to show how the Jews suffered. But that's not our hard work. Our hard work is the children. That's obvious. And that it says every child thrown into the river, that's not a proof that our children are hard work. It's just an obvious thing that the children are hard work. That would have brings that throw the children into this. That's another suffering that the Jews suffered. What can this teach us? That hard work is the children. B'chdei is the kinder, that in order the children should be oich talmidim, should also learn properly. Was vert angerufen banim. I'm sorry, that in order for your children or your pupils, those who you teach, should be the way they're supposed to be. Muzmain amal. Muzan, there has to be hard work. Education is hard work. That's the point that the Haggadah wants to give. Therefore, it doesn't have to bring a proof that bringing up children is hard work, because that's a fact. That it brings throwing the children into the river, that's just another type of suffering that the Jews suffered back then. But bringing up children is hard work. It's an obvious thing. Men muzoivtem haravanim. In order to educate children, you have to work hard. Whether we're talking about your own children or your pupils. And the Rebbe is going to see it relates for every Jew to every other Jew. Then einer hat geharcht zame Kinder, when a person has, excuse me, let me see what this word summer means. Excuse me. Here. Oh, okay. When a person has children, okay, that you worked hard to educate. Then einer hat ashpa, and you have any sort of an influence on your pupils, or on ein Wort was sagt, that one word which you say could be sufficient, you shouldn't think that therefore you have completed your work. That you have a good pupil, right? A good pupil, a good child, he's well behaved. You say one word and he acts nice, right? He acts good. He goes, he sits down and learns, he helps you in the house, he's nice, he doesn't argue with his brothers, doesn't. So you think, okay, it's so nice. I just said one word, it's good enough. Don't think it's enough. In them fall, even in such a case, you have to have hard work to educate. Amalenu, the Haravanya, the hard work, was Torah is the roif, which means geharavet. This it means working hard at educating children in the Torah. I'm sorry, one second. Right. This hard work is hard work that even the Torah calls hard work. What does it mean? When b'shas, it means that hard work means that even when you have children that are good children and pupils that are excellent pupils, don't think that now I can turn to my own work, my own life. No, even then you have to work hard. When b'shas is zayin foran, the amal dikbanim, when you have children that you worked hard on, is nit of fos nit poil, Suverin from their gezerah, then you won't be affected by the decree of all of the children, throw them into the river. Like we just explained. Men gate durach their gezeras, then you can overcome the decrees. Unochmer, and even more, as him, the children, was zainen, which were born in Gahadavet, when you worked on them in the time of the decrees, they were the ones who recognized God first. What's the Rebbe saying over here? I'll give you a simple example. There's in Chabad, there's this thing of shlichus. People go out to shlichus. What do you mean they go out to shlichus? They take their whole family and they uproot their family and they go to some strange town. They go to a strange town. Now it's more sort of organized than it used to be. In America, for instance, but there's other places in India and these weird places in the Far East. And they go and they set up, and they have children and they educate the children. There's no place to educate the children. They have in Chabad, they have worldwide set of computer learning, that they have classes even before there was Zoom. They had classes where they would have, the teachers, and the teachers would teach a whole area according to the time zones. They would teach the children. And there's hundreds of the children, who knows how many, that have been taught in this amazing way. And there's teachers that teach, they get paid, it's a regular job. And they get paid and they teach these children. Now these children, when they finish their lessons, right, so they're in the worst places in the world. There's no other Jewish children for them to play with. They only have their friends. And these children grow up amazingly. You see that they grow up and they're happy in their Judaism and they're working for Mashiach and they care about God and they care about Torah and they care about Mitzvah, they care about their fellow man and they're honest and they're positive and they help not just the Jews, also the non-Jews. Why is it? Because the parents work hard to teach them, especially the mothers. In the time when the children are learning, they also have homework that they have to do. Those children that are brought up with hard work, education, in the time of the decrees of Paro, that he's trying his best to make the Jewish people not Jewish, those children that are brought up in those conditions, with proper education, where their parents put effort, they were the first ones which had their kant, which recognized God on Yam Suf, when the Red Sea, when it split. Nit Moshe, not Aaron, not the sons of Aaron, not the Zakanim, right? Like I said, the order of learning, we had the Zakanim, and not the whole entire generation that was in Egypt. Who were the first ones that recognized godliness? And the Yiddish kind of the Jewish children, which they had oif geharvet, which they were brought up by. They were brought up with Mesirut Nefesh, with self-sacrifice of their parents. They were the ones that recognized first. In in such a way that they said, Zeke Livan Veu, this is my God, and I will praise him. Anweisen mit dem finger, they could point with their finger and said, this is God. They recognized Hashem first, and it says in Mount Sinai, at the Kriyas Yam Suf, at Yam Suf, it says that not just the river, physical water split, but all the spiritual worlds split. The spiritual worlds, Shamayim, is called heavens, are called Mayim. The main thing is water. So those waters also split, and everyone saw God. Who were the ones that first recognized? Says the children. The Jewish children that had been brought up to learn Torah and the importance of Torah and the happiness of Torah in a way which is self-sacrifice, they were the first ones to recognize God. The Horah, what is the teaching? Not only to parents which have children and to teachers which have pupils. This is a teaching to every single Jew. Yeda Yidden. Varum, because there's a commandment that you have to worry and improve your friend. Et amitecha is a mitzvah from the Torah. If you see a Jew that's not doing Judaism, then you have to try to help him and educate him. Unpru ravu says the first commandment in the Torah is be fruitful and multiply. It's a mitzvah of the Torah. What's that got to do with anything? You'll see. Und dazu noch, the first mitzvah of the Torah is to be fruitful and multiply. What does it mean, be fruitful and multiply? This relates to every single Jew. This is not just physically that you should have children. This is physical children. That's also, of course, a commandment. Of course, that's the commandment. But it's also teaching us a very, very deep thing. In them was the erste mitzvah, because the first commandment in the Torah is pru ravu, be fruitful and multiply. There is a word, there's a saying from the Alter Rebbe, from the first Rebbe, Alter Rebbe, from the followers, the Hasidim of the first Rebbe of Chabad. According, some people say it was the Alter Rebbe himself. What does it mean, be fruitful and multiply? The content is like this, that in the order of the Torah is also the Torah. The first commandment of the Torah that God gave to man was be fruitful and multiply. The first foundation of the Torah and the first foundation in the life of a Jew is be fruitful and multiply. One Jew should make another Jew. You see a Jew that doesn't know about Judaism, be fruitful and multiply. Teach him Judaism. One Jew has to make another Jew. Zok them to Yidden. This is told to every single Jew, as heir is mechuyev, that every single Jew is obligated. So harvin, to work hard, to make effort. Machen noch a Yidden, and make another Jew. Bichalal in general, in chinuch hakosher, and especially when we're talking about original subject that we have, educating children in Jewish schools, educating your children. This, so it's obligated, it's an obligation, an essence, it's the foundation of the Torah that every Jew has to worry for every other Jew. And by means of this, you worry for every person. Be fruitful and multiply means that eventually to the whole entire world should know that there's a creator that loves them. Education has to come through hard work and self-sacrifice. Let's learn the Yom Yom of today. Today's Yom Yom. What is today, Chav Tevis? Yes. The Midler Rebbe, the second Rebbe of Chabad, had ge'enfert einem from Yechidus. He answered somebody when they were in Yechidut. They were by him for a private, a meeting. As einer redt mit den ander b'inyan avoda, that when one Jew talks with another Jew about how to serve God, und sie lernen zusammen, or they sit and they learn together, is das zwei nefesh elokis, this is two godly souls, or if ein nefesh ativis, against one natural soul. A natural soul by its nature is selfish. So it really can't really join with another. Everybody's thinking about themselves. The godly soul, the essence of the godly soul is unification, to unify, eventually to show that God is one, that the whole world is one. So when two Jews talk about godliness, it's two Jewish souls, right? They join together to make two, but the animal soul is always one. Each one is one, separate, doesn't add up together. The two Jewish souls do add up together, and two animal souls don't. Therefore, it's two Jewish souls against one animal soul. The animal soul of each individual is outnumbered by the two Jewish souls of both of them. That's what happens when you learn Torah together. See you all, I hope, at 3 o'clock. We'll learn Chumash with Rashi. I found a better a download of Chumash that has a lot of explanations on it. Yesterday was a bit disappointing. Today we're going to learn those with the Kli Yakar and with the Be'ez Hashem, even the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. See you at 3 o'clock. Bring your friends. Have a good day with Mashiach now.